segue us in there. Go ahead, King. Set up that
And
plate.
before we give a segue into this topic here, which is the topic of the night for episode 212, I want to tackle this issue here because it also parallels with what we're talking about tonight. And the question remains: should DJ Akademiks be ran out of hip hop? Mysonne is leading a roll call to get this dude out of here.
We're laughing, but it's so serious right now. It really is.
But
you know,
what I want to do first is I want to play the little clip that he had talking about this, and we're going to give everybody's opinion.
Cool.
Let me get that audio right quick. Hold on 1 second.
Take your time. Take your time.
And I blame a lot of you grown-ass niggas that was around him, you know, that was just capitalizing off him. You know, but that's the game. You know, these niggas, like my nigga Rollo said, we used to be trying to give him the game and not run game on him. You know what I'm saying? Give him game and not run your game on him. Niggas ran their game on him. They was robbing the kid, but I knew that was happening. You know? Ain't no way that you attach to no gang and you not like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not like that. But you getting the backing of them unless you paying. You know what I'm saying? Unless you paying, so that it all makes sense in that regard, man. It's sad because he's a kid, man. He's a kid. What is he, 19, 20? That's a kid that didn't even. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. But Akademiks is a clown, man. For real, man. Akademiks is one of the niggas, like, I've been out the streets and I don't be promoting around, but I really just want to smack the shit out of Akademiks.
Smacking that nigga.
He's a fucking clown. Man promoted every illegal act that man engaged in. Akademiks came on and said, okay, now look what's going on today. 6ix9ine. Now you know Tekashi's going through this. And you know he's beefing with these guys. And these guys don't play. And the Chicago niggas, man, they're going to bust their gut. So they bust the gut at him, he bust the gut back, and you know, they're beat. Oh, this is the same sucker shit he did every day. Every day. And I kept telling you that man gonna get him killed or put in jail. Told y'all that shit. He on there talking about pray on his page talking about pray for Tekashi 6ix9ine. Nigga, you prayed on him. You utilize that man for views, utilize his personal life, utilize his indiscretion, utilize that man for anything possible that could get you some level of clickbait, and put that man in the penitentiary, man. Niggas, nobody knew more about 6ix9ine. I don't think 6ix9ine knew as much about his life as you did. You broke that man's life down every day. Gave us some shit that was going on in that man's life. Now I'm talking about pray for 6ix9ine. Niggas, man. I'm telling you, man, this era, these niggas is so disgusting and clownish, man. I don't even know where they get these type of niggas. I've never been around these type of niggas, man. I don't know how y'all allow these type of niggas to even survive or live, man. For real, man. It ain't no checks and balances. No checks and balances. Any nigga could do anything. Suckers could just run around and profit off street shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just terrible, man. It's terrible, man.
So what do you guys think? Does Mysonne make a point?
Wait, hold on. That's nice, right?
Yes.
That's nice? Okay, go ahead, Q-Man. I just wanted to make sure. Go ahead.
You know, the thing about it is, I guess this is where we have a dialogue / segue, in my opinion, as well. One thing about it is, there's one thing when you are nothing more than a counterfeit, and when you're the genuine article, when you're real and when you real fake. And whatever the situation is with Tekashi, for whatever these situations have come, I understand Mysonne's sentiments in terms of what he was saying, but the fact is, when you have certain antics of a bad actor in the public limelight, you're going to have people that are going to commentate. This is free speech the last time I checked in this country, and while we may not always agree with everything people say about a man's situation, it doesn't make it any less true. And Tekashi put himself in a situation to where commentary was going to come continuously. Was Akademiks very, could you say that he was very chatty-patty about it? Sure he was. But when you're talking about situations about how niggas in Chicago going to shoot or, this beef, that he wasn't wrong about it. I think my son's beef about it is the fact that how essentially he feels like Tekashi was exploited in a conversational piece that could get him a lifetime piece in the pen. And this is something that is very serious. But the fact is, we can't hold Akademiks complicit in giving his opinion for something that another man did that was his own decision. Last time I checked, Akademiks ain't make Tekashi go out there and act like a dumbass in the street.
Yes, sir.
That's something.
Yeah.
Tekashi did that on his own. And, and I understand what my son was saying about how it seems disingenuous about for all the shit Akademiks was talking about now how he's saying pray for Tekashi. Well, the fact is, basically you prayed and you prayed for his downfall. That's basically what it was. And I mean, essentially this is what, and I'm not going to say Akademiks deliberately wanted this to happen, but the fact is to say you're praying for someone or you talk so much shit about him is a height of hypocrisy that's taller than Manute Bol and Shaq put together, plus a million stories, and it still don't even come close to the level of hypocrisy that's at. The fact of the matter is, Tekashi is 22 years old, real name Daniel Hernandez, and he's looking at real time behind this, depending where this case goes. Because this ain't no little shit. The feds don't like to lose. When the feds knock on your door, they got something. Go ahead, Sandman.
And plus, too, I think with this situation, I see what my son is saying. Like, if you gotta be careful with what you posting right now based off this situation, because now, based off
anything
the
he said
that
can't
they have,
be used against him.
Feds could come after him. That's what I was implicating the other day. Like, when you start seeing your Instagram videos having hashtags and web traffic and all this stuff is connected to your channel, the feds could sit there and have like an open book and just be like, okay, they get down like this, he's reporting this, and I don't know
what does he know?
Exactly. So the way I'm looking at it is, I'm looking at it like he tried to use the 6ix9ine scenario. He tried to get himself in to be a spokesman. A spokesman makes a lot of money. So he figured he can wiggle this Tekashi 6ix9ine thing. You got to know when to find that line between being a reporter and not being in too deep on some Omar Epps shit.
Right on.
Valid point.
Right on.
But the thing I gotta, y'all both make some valid points. But what I want to say is that shit like this been happening forever. Like when it comes to journalists and reporters basically making a name for themselves off of fuckery, so to speak. Is DJ Akademiks guilty? Yeah, he's guilty, but not guilty like saying he should go to jail. I mean, like guilty for his actions. Shit that he's done, like basically exploiting 6ix9ine or whatever. But what journalist hasn't done that other than us? And even we exploit certain motherfuckers.
I mean,
like
look, we gotta
exploit,
take it back, Sam, man. We gotta take it back, like Star, Buckwild, Wendy Williams, all of them. Charlamagne, all of them have done shit like that. Where they, made that commentary.
Charlamagne, he's getting a good team later on too. And I'm gonna touch on Charlamagne later on. Pause. But go ahead.
Yeah, my issue, and this is my issue too. Now, If you read what I've been saying about Akademiks, I'm not really a fan of the guy at all. I'm not a fan of his.
So he's corny.
He's because he's a corn. I feel he's a corn guy that built his father wing off of squares and suckers, and they look to him to be the gatekeeper for these weirdos. He getting bread off of breaking a lot of these weirdos in, and then and you giving color commentary on the fuckery. But my problem is with the culture is if we're gonna hold him accountable, we gotta holler at Vlad, we gotta holler at Adam 22, we gotta holler at Rosenberg. I mean, don't pick on Ak because Ak is like the soft pudgy bear party. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. See, that's what I was about to say too. Like I ain't gonna lie, it's to the way that's borderline bullying. Because what happens, other motherfuckers, why they not getting that same smoke like how motherfuckers trying to give Akademiks that smoke? No, get him out of there.
Akademiks ain't gonna really fight back.
Of course he's not. Like, come on, you look at Akademiks, you don't look like no fighter. You look like a motherfucker that plays fucking Warcraft and motherfucking Call of Duty all day, looking at
Dungeons and Dragons on his Twitch every day. He ain't been in no gym.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like he's just doing this. She's doing this shit where a lot of dirty journalists does. And going back to what I was saying, that we may exploit people too, but we exploit them in a positive light. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna sit there and exploit motherfuckers to get us or our brand incriminated. Like, we're not gonna do some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I a lot of closest we ever got to that is where we spoke about, Trey Pissy basically having guns in the in the Pops video.
In the video.
But that was already a resolved issue. So we could talk about that. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got murdered or whatever. That was a resolved issue.
And it was just a video. It was just a video.
That's the furthest we ever went. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about it is a situation where people have to understand. Now, like y'all said, Akademiks is not the he-man of hip-hop journalism by any means. I mean, I think a sick goose might be more dangerous than him in a fist fight, and that's featherweight class.
A sick goose. What the fuck? Where you get that from? A sick goose? Crazy.
Yeah, I mean featherweight challenge. But the fact is one thing is Akademiks. I'm never one to just try to shit on people. But the thing is with Akademiks, he's not really what you would call the quote unquote the icon, the actual symbolism of hip hop journalism. Like y'all said, he's basically that kid who just has a curiosity but not a passion. And basically, for a lot of these other people who are just casual listeners of the culture, because he has been called a culture vulture as well. You got people listening to him who think that he's actually like the authority on hip hop, and he really isn't. Which, like y'all said, makes way for a lot of these. Which makes way for a lot of these weird niggas to come in.
Yeah, like you sit there, like not you. I'm not saying you, but people would sit there and call him a culture vulture. TMZ is the biggest culture vultures of them all, and I don't even hear people going as hard to TMZ like how they go hard towards Akademiks. But I'm not sitting there. I'm not even sitting there capable for Akademiks. I'm not even capable for Akademiks at all. I'm just saying that if. Go ahead.
TMZ is more of an entertainment. They're basically with TMZ. TMZ is an equal opportunity offender. They'll just offend anybody they can because TMZ. But the thing is about TMZ is not. While they can be ratchet as fuck, TMZ actually usually has their facts in order behind it. There's just a question about the stuff they put out there. Do they really need to put it out there like that? And a lot of people feel like some of TMZ goes below the belt in terms of exposing people's personal business. But usually with TMZ, they do have their facts in order.
in a way, which any journalist should. It's all about doing homework.
Right.
You gotta do homework to talk about. You can't be like Nancy Grace and shit. You know, Nancy Grace never know what the fuck she's talking about. But I mean,
plus people plus people will understand what creates an academics is the people, and people love fuckery.
Exactly.
Whether people want to admit it or not. Academics built his lane off that, and if you see it doubling up your commerce, I ain't gonna knock the hustle.
You're gonna keep doing it. You're gonna keep
exactly.
What is America built off of? America is built off of capitalism. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Yeah, like so. I can't sit here and hate on academics for finding his lane. When there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that's trying to find their lane even to this day. Like, they the age of fucking 50 and they still can't find their fucking lane. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't really condone.
But I think it's also a matter of being responsible. Like, he has to be responsible for what he reports. Because now, according to what I was looking at before we got on the air, Star, he did like a show talking about should the feds question DJ Akademiks.
See, with that, I think he went too far, and this goes like, motherfuckers gotta remember what Star. He don't give a fuck about nobody. He had so much motherfuckers calling in, snitching, sounding crazy, and Star just sitting back like, you know, Star. He's like, yo, in his mind, he's like, yo, you hear these motherfuckers? Like, I got all these motherfuckers by the strings. All these motherfuckers was calling in and saying, oh yeah, he should get arrested. We never, on this show, on this platform, we never sat here and said anybody should get arrested. Unless you like, if you're not like a child molester or a motherfucking child murderer of that extent, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers ain't sitting there saying, oh, you should get arrested, you should get arrested. Well, that shit was crazy.
Well, the fact is, that's reckless as fuck to say someone should be arrested and there's no proof behind it. Now, see, that's where Star wants to try to, you know what I'm saying, create a lot of sensationalism. He wants sensationalism because the fact of the matter, this is what they call back in the day yellow journalism, because you're saying it to elicit emotions. And the fact is with Star, you can't call for a man to be arrested if he's not complicit in a crime. So basically what you're saying is you're calling for a man that could presumably be, who's presumed innocent by our country's law, innocent until proven guilty. You're going to basically have a presumed innocent man who could be investigated for no damn reason. You know, because he probably has nothing. Wrong. Exactly.
I think that's wrong.
But this is where the Pandora's box has been opened up. And I guess while we're all talking about this, I guess we have to bring it back to the essence about how we got to this point today with 6ix9ine. A year ago, a rapper by the name of Daniel Hernandez, Tekashi 6ix9ine, came on the scene with a song called Gummo that pretty much just caught everybody off guard.
I love that track.
Yeah.
The Rick Ross remix is dope, man.
Yeah, and from Gummo, we thought we had just saw just the artist, and then we saw the antics with the artist. We saw the fuckery, we saw the antagonization, we saw the crazy ass hair, to say the least. We even questioned, was he a Crip before he became a Blood, because there were pictures of him wearing blue and now he was wearing red. The authenticity, and it was mildly entertaining for a lot of levels from what I think a lot of people thought, but then it became aggravating. We fast forward a little bit, he got into a little dirt. He got into it with Chief Keef, both in Chicago. We know how real Chicago is. Got into it with YG and Slim 400 from Compton. We know Compton is real.
And hold on, I think that with that was unnecessary, because when he came out with Gummo, he wasn't really tripping with tripping with anybody or beefing with anybody other than like Super
That's why I
can
say it came later. That all came later.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and Gummo was good. Gummo did good. Like, when Gummo went on YouTube, Gummo like within one day got over 1 million views. So it's like, now you want to sit there and start beefing with people. Huh? It started on YouTube.
I think it started around the time where the song started taking off a little bit, and a lot of people saw him as a boisterous. Yeah, because we see this kid come from out of nowhere with red rags and stuff. Now the only one that had a legit gripe about it was, I think it was Red Rum. I think it's Red Rum.
781.
71. Yeah, he's the one had a real gripe about it.
Shout out to Uncle Red Rum, 781 from Banging on Wax. Shout out to the OG homie Red Rum.
But the rest of these guys, though, I'm thinking that they would have had 6ix9ine. They've been hugged up with him. They've been taking pictures together, but they wanted him to pay that fee. Just like any other nigga in the game, they want to pay that fee down. And 6ix9ine, he's going to be like, he's feeling himself a little bit. You got the Treyway gangsters backing you up. I ain't checking in nowhere. It's Treyway.
And now, from the looks of it, there's no way.
And that whole checkout tour went throughout the whole year. From NBA All-Star Weekend when he went to L.A., then he got ran out of Texas. He got chased out by the Rap-A-Lot boys.
Yeah, King, talk about the situation at the airport at LAX where he got in that fight at the airport.
Got in a little scuffle with some of Jay Prince's baby Prince's soldiers on the train.
Then, of course,
they say Rap-A-Lot, Rap-A-Lot.
And then the situation in Texas Syndicate. That wasn't Texas Syndicate, my mistake. But it was another Texas gang who was really rooted, who basically said if he comes here, there are going to be problems. And I believe they had to cancel that show. There was some Latin boys. It was a Mexican boy down there that basically.
It's been shows in Manhattan, in New York, where they had to cancel because they didn't want that shit to get shot up. He got that stigma with them, and that's the thing. Like, a lot of these motherfuckers that's getting money off, like social media and shit, they're about to start cracking down on that. Everybody think they just act a fool. Like, it's what you get your money, you chill with it, you get your money. But they're about to start cracking down, like on Instagram models, Instagram rappers. The motherfuckers should have to start paying a fee too. Because they just want to start putting a tax on that. So they're going to basically force y'all motherfuckers to get the fuck out. Get out there and actually do something with your craft. For real. Instead of for a damn phone.
The way it's looking to me, it looks like the whole 6ix9ine creation. I'm going to break it down for a little bit. Because
Go ahead.
Really look at his videos.
Talk to us.
If you really look at his videos from 2016, before Gumbo, he has kind of like the rah-rah style.
He said Gumbo.
Gumbo, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. Yeah, I'm showing my age up here. Gumbo.
And quick.
I'm showing my age over here, pardon me.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have never seen, now Gummo, when I first saw that title for Gummo, and keep your train of thought, King, because I'm gonna put you back because I want to get you right back on the track.
Okay.
But if y'all have never, but Gummo, when I first saw that title Gummo, I thought of the movie Gummo. And for those of you that have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, just prepare yourself because that movie made a couple of lists as one of the most disturbing films ever made for a reason. You just got to watch it and you'll see what I mean. Yes, I thought Gummo was a very weird title, but
I want to see that shit. I never knew there was a movie called Gummo, so I'm gonna look for that shit myself.
Yeah. You might be able to find it online, Sandman, but it's just a weird ass movie. But go ahead, King. Go ahead.
Okay. So you're looking from his videos from before that time. He had the yelling rah rah style, but you didn't see hardly no game for failure. You ain't had no gang banging. You saw mostly smut pedal raps. You saw
like
mostly
anime. Yeah, you're right. Like
anime.
he was like into that anime shit. Yeah.
So look at his name, 6ix9ine, sexual position. He basically built off that. So a year later, he gets a record deal with WMG. Lucien Garange's son gives him the deal.
Right.
And then he gets a WWE makeover character-wise. He gets rainbow hair, rainbow teeth, Lego blocks teeth. He's busting guns, tattoos. And you look at how the Treyway situation, how do these guys come in? I'm gonna give you what my assumption is.
Slow it down real quick. Like let's talk about the part when he got all colorful and shit. Like, you know, when I first seen that shit, you know, like I didn't know about him from before, like with the whole anime shit, because around that time he was cool with Trippie Redd. And then he came out with the whole colorful hair, colorful teeth shit. When I first see those pics, I'm like, the fuck? Like, are you serious? Come on, man. Like motherfuckers is just doing anything now. And that's when I heard Gummo, and I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, that shit is actually pretty hot. Like, not when it comes to lyric-wise, but when it comes to the energy.
The energy.
You know what I'm saying? I love smacking nigga music. You know what I mean? That's always been a weakness to me. Like with Lil Jon or whatever. Like, Lil Jon lyrics ain't really all that, but he makes some music that makes you want to kick a nigga in the face. So go ahead.
Yeah, I always like hype up music. That's just me. And every rapper, even though I talk my smack, every rapper got that one song that they like. And I ain't gonna lie, that song had me hype. I was feeling when I was at the club that night. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah, that Gummo shit is alright.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. So even Vanilla Ice had a hot joint, but go ahead. Go ahead to what I was saying. So it's a whole thing where they developing his gimmick, and the Treyway situation. It looks like a bunch of guys trying to get their way into the music business, but either people are scared of dealing with them, or they don't have the clout to get in there. So what they do is they probably had a little meeting in exchange for delivery. We'll give you this kid, give him his credibility. We're going to pump him up. We're going to give you a bag in exchange for it, and we're going to break you guys into the music industry. This is where that whole, where the new Death Row shit came along.
We saw what happened with Death Row.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then
the thing is, go ahead.
Then people started thinking they could try 6ix9ine because they saw him as a skinny, a chubby Mexican with a chubby short Mexican with rainbow hair. They thought they could try him. So this is where the guy Shotty, his manager, had to come up and start talking to him. And you know that the dynamic shift changed from there.
King, and I got, I got to get, I'm going to get semi-dramatic on the dialogue. Y'all know how I get sometimes. But this is a story of not only an aspiring artist who wanted to make it, but he may have not been ready for what was coming along with it, because throughout this saga where we have the comedy, we see the tragedy of it. And we've seen this tragedy go from who he thought were his friends were frauds, because we're looking at the fact of, and I guess we could jump into it later, we can kind of get to it now, which kind of ties it in, because we see all of this coming out now. We're finding out that, this comes, you figure 2 weeks ago, he basically fires his whole staff because he says they're stealing from him. So the fact is, there was no G-check on the people that you were bringing in or who brought them in to begin with. For the Streams and King.
He had to end up paying the Wolves anyway. Look at that.
and the thing is, King, that status you wrote today was so on point, because it talked about all the media outlets in terms of Warner Music Group, the Spotify, the streams, everything, and how much money was supposed to come in. And you figure he fired his whole crew a couple weeks ago because he's saying they were stealing from him. Now, this goes into the situation of his present incarceration, which right now is looking like he may be locked up until next year, because they said his trial is set for next year. So apparently,
they're gonna keep him. Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, so they
ain't letting him go until they take that stand.
Yeah, so he basically offered up his whole bank account of $1.8 million. Now, you figure bail is only 10%, but you're offering up that. But I'm like, $1.8 million, and that's all you made in 1 year with all the shows and streams and everything, and that's all you got? So, I mean, you know, and even the situation, you know, and, you know, even with 50 Cent, you know, because even 50 Cent is, you know, as 50 does, he'll crack about it. You know, even 50 said, I don't want a nigga calling me. I don't want no feds on my phone. You know, because 50 basically is distancing himself from that whole situation now. You know, basically, Tekashi has found out for all of his bluster, for all of his bravado, all it is drawing a blank for, you know, in terms of what he received in royalties. Because at the end of the day, he's got less than pennies and no red cent of any sense about how he lost all those cents.
And
because
the cold
now,
part about this too, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the cold part about this too is...
Wait, hold on. I got some. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, my dude, but I just got some inside info.
Oh,
okay.
go right ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like basically, an anonymous informant.
See, they're talking about is going to be revealed? Are they going to reveal the confidential informant?
Yeah, basically, it was told to me that the trial starts in September of next year. So
right.
that's what we gotta think. Like, damn, they really gonna hold him until next year September because they denying him bail already. Or they gonna keep denying him bail all the way to September?
They can. This is a federal case. They look.
Yeah.
When I was watching the show Mayans, and they asked, and there was an episode where when a dude was about to get knocked, and they were like, dude was like, can the feds do that? And they were like, when a case is at that level, they can do whatever they want, you know. And the fact is, you know, I've heard rumors that they feel like his life may be in danger if he's on the street. They said in the pretrial hearing that he wasn't even looking at the Treyway gangsters as he walked out of court. So this has already led to speculation that he may have struck a deal with They've already moved him to special protection at Rikers, which is basically, you know, they moved him to where the low-level offenders are at, and also with no gang affiliations. So there's already speculation that he could be cutting a deal with prosecutors to drop dime. Whatever this case is, because they're just saying racketeering and everything else. They have not said specifically what these cases are related to. So they're not saying exactly. When something like this at that level comes, I'm no lawyer, but I've seen enough of this shit to know. When something like this happens, what this means is that there are some bigger fish that they're trying to fry. And if he's caught up in something that was an ongoing investigation that he got himself into, this is bad for him. Because this means he was really rolling with some real people who they had on the radar for a long time. He's just the most high-profile witness, possibly. And if he flips, oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Usually in cases like this with labels, and usually with the labels...
Hold on, King. This is what it ultimately is.
Right.
They're basically putting the squeeze on him. This is what you call the squeeze.
Oh yeah.
Like you remember well, you had posted the shit with the whole 6ix9ine, shit, King, and I commented and I said, like, this is only stage one. It's only gonna get worse. Yeah. Like they freezing that. Them freezing the assets. Like they basically trying to starve him out. Like they want him to come to them on his hands and knees. Like, look, because you gotta think of it like this. He was taking care of his mom's food, taking care of his baby mom.
He can't get commissary.
And then I heard he got, I heard he got kids on the way. Like when it rains, it pours.
You know,
he's gonna this right here is gonna definitely make him a different person. If this whole ordeal doesn't make him a different person, and he's definitely one of the most stupidest motherfuckers in the world. Like I said, hold on. Let me finish my synopsis.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, we don't condone anybody dying or condone anybody getting murdered or going to jail or whatever, but we all realists here, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
He got what the fuck he deserves, and I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. You know why? Because he sat there and he kept antagonizing, going, just doing a whole bunch of idiotic shit. Remember what I said from before? He had Gummo. Gummo had him, he wasn't beefing with nobody when he did Gummo. He just stayed on that lane and just make hardcore music and, kept his family close to him, kept his family tight, and then he probably would have been much more better off. No, he wanted to sit there and try to prove he's a gangster, which he's not, especially telling motherfuckers all around America to suck your dick. That alone, like, that was a fighting word. You can't tell me to suck my... What? I'm smacking fire out of you.
Right.
Those are fighting words. You can't come back from that and say, like, oh, we mad cool. You know what I mean? Now he want to sit there. Hold on. Now he want to sit there and go through what he's going through now. And then people want to sit there and be like, oh, come on, man. Yo, he's a kid. Have sympathy. Fuck that shit. You want to be a gangster? You want to be a gangster? Let's go. You want to fucking be? Now let's see how gangster you really fucking are. I'm tired of these motherfuckers being coddled. Fuck that shit. Motherfuckers need to learn one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't wish it on them, but at the same time, if you keep fucking knocking on the wolf's door, or you keep knocking on death's door, knocking on anything, they're gonna eventually fucking respond and be like, what the fuck you want? You had plenty of times to sit there and be like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna try to fall back. Even when this dude had got murdered, Tentacion. Remember when Tentacion got murdered? He said, "Oh, I'm gonna fall back." You know what I mean? Him getting murdered humbled me. I learned a lot from that. And what did he do? He kept on going on with his answers, kept going on with his bullshit, and the music got weak. The nigga 6'9" music got weak. Like, this music nowadays is trash.
Well, this is what happens because, like I said, he began believing his own hype. And the thing is, Sandman, now his defense is trying to say basically that this was all an act just to sell records. Like Casanova said, you can't pick and choose when to be a gangster. When you a gangster, you got to own it. And this is a situation now that he's in a real grip because the assets frozen means that he has no access to his money at all, which means he's locked up. So there's no commissary.
I can't feel sorry for him. I can't.
And
you know what I mean? Because it's like you brought all this shit on yourself. Like, I hear other radio outlets out there like, oh, come on, please pray for the dude. Like, we tried to warn him, and now we got to pray for him. No, fuck that shit. He's not innocent.
Well,
and I'm not saying he should go to jail. Like, I'm saying, like, he knew what the fuck he was doing. Even he admitted to this shit plenty of times. Oh, I love to piss people off. Oh, I love to tell people to suck my dick. Oh, I'm immortal. Oh, nobody can touch me. I'm the best. It's a fine line between arrogance and being a fucking dickhead.
And you know what, though? I wanted to say this, that to really build about this is the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the whole infield and I'm looking at the whole outfield. Let me dim the music down for this one.
Go ahead.
And to dim it for this one. The way I'm looking at it is I'm looking at who this kid's puppet masters is. You got guys like Elliot Grange, and you have the guy who go by the name of Ari Mantle. These guys which is the talent agent, and he's the co-CEO of William Morris and one of the most powerful Hollywood agents in Hollywood. See, when you have that type of power behind you, these people profited off the 6ix9ine brand more than 6ix9ine did. All these antics, even that triple red beat, they instigated that. They knew it was going to sell records. They knew it was going to cause controversy. They knew it was going to make these kids. Everything's built behind the click. Everything's built behind the stream, and they profited lovely off the fuckery. More so than Treyway, more so than Tekashi. And this is the problem that I have. When stuff like this happens, they all of a sudden want to distance themselves. When in reality, they don't care as long as the dollar is there. They knew that the kid was over his head.
Exactly.
And he was feeling himself, because when you have that backing and you have that corporate backing, where you feel that you're not going to be touchable, you're going to feel untouchable. So now he's caught up in the jam, and they see that now they can't profit off him no more because he missed a lot of shows due to his antics. He cost them some money.
Not only that, he's a hot box. A lot of venues don't want to book him because they're afraid that shit's gonna get shot the fuck up.
Exactly. See, with Summer Jam, he was supposed to be in a Summer Jam. They stopped him from performing there.
Ebro shut that down.
Complex Con, he had problems with the Treetop niggas. Slim 400, they shut that down. He couldn't perform there. In Texas, he tried to perform there. Rap-A-Lot niggas shut that down. He can't make money there. Then he was supposed to come out and bring out Adrian Broner. He couldn't perform there, so the labels is probably
all
like...
people, Adrian Broner. Go ahead.
because the shooting incident happened there. So the way the labels look at it, it's a cutthroat business. They look at it like, if we negotiate a deal, give him like a T.I. type deal, he can't really make no money for us like that because he can't perform anywhere. So what we're going to do, he's going to go through the ringer. And you notice how they just leaked his album out this past Friday.
Because they're not going to release it.
It came out. The release date was last Friday. That's when it was supposed to come out.
Officially the record was shelved. Officially it was shelved.
Because
they're going to basically treat this
situation.
They're going to treat the situation like a Bobby Shmurda. Like, the kid got a couple hot records. They're gonna try to make money off the album. Yep, exactly. It's like, well, you were so right. You hit the nail right on the head. Like, they try to do this shit with Bobby Shmurda shit, but Bobby Shmurda didn't conjure up enough songs to make a full album.
He just had that EP.
Motherfuckers too busy partying.
And not to mention, and it's a pattern that goes on within hip hop. Because you notice any time when the feds get involved, nobody's ever the same. Death Row Records was investigated by the feds. They never were the same. Murder Inc., they never were the same. Rap-A-Lot, they never were the same. So
Rap-A-Lot's still around. Rap-A-Lot's still around.
They're still around, but they not wasn't like how they used to be.
Yeah, not to that degree where they had the Ghetto Boys and DMG and Rap-A-Lot was a beast in the 90s, but today it's like Prince is focusing more on boxing.
But the thing is, that situation, one thing about it, because with that issue with the feds and Rap-A-Lot with Jay Prince, shout out to the old man. We respectfully call him, and we much love to Houston. That situation, Aunt Maxine had to get involved in that. You know, Maxine Waters. She had to get involved in that situation, basically telling the FBI to back off because of the fact that, if you for all of y'all who know about Jay Prince, you know about what he supposedly was involved in many, many years ago, and which prompted that investigation. But obviously he's a legitimate businessman, and no matter what he may have done in his past, and he was making legitimate money, but, and he was being investigated unfairly. And basically Aunt Maxine had to come and tell the feds, leave him alone, because y'all don't have anything.
But the problem is when the feds, when they start freezing up accounts and they started blocking the convicted of getting access to their fortune, you notice all the puppet masters leave unscathed and is on to the next.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's just what it is.
When Murder Inc. went down, Leo Cohen left unscathed. But even though he made tons of money off Murder Inc., Jimmy Iovine left unscathed. Yeah. Even after Death Row went down, making more than ever. See what it is? They pump these images up, and when it hits the fan, they wipe their hands and they go to the next.
Yep. Exactly.
You were right.
They run
you were
for
right
the
about
fucking
that.
hills. Like they know, like a lot of motherfuckers, like that. You know, like them execs, they know when the castle's about to start tumbling down. They take their money and they scram.
Well, and the thing is that, you know, when you look at what happened with the Death Row situation, there was a lot of stuff, you know. The death, you know, we all saw the documentary, so we know the whole situation of, you know, things that happened, you know, that Suge was involved in, that eventually it came back on him, you know, for what was there. You know, this wasn't just about Tupac. This was about some other business as well, in terms of stuff he had going on in the streets and just in business in general, about how he dealt with people in the industry and at his label, that eventually it came back. The situation with Murder Inc., you know, of course, you know, Irv Gotti, his brother Chris, you know, real names Irving and Chris Lorenzo, they were involved with Kenneth Supreme McGriff, allegedly. You know, that supposedly that they got that $3 million from Supreme, who had already been locked up at the time, I believe, to start Murder Inc. Records. Many, many years ago in Source magazine, Supreme talked about that, and he basically said he signed a 50-50 joint venture with Def Jam because of a lot of the songs he had produced on it became hits for them, so he got his own label deal, and that's how Murder Inc. came about, not from money from Supreme, even though Irv has never covered his allegiance to Supreme, because they knew each other from Queens way back when Irv was a DJ starting out. But the association, and, you know, for those who do not know Supreme's story, just check it out. It's some real gangster shit, you know, shit, you know, in terms of, you know, the Supreme team, in terms of what they were involved in. And it also involved the murder of a police officer as well, you know, that supposedly they put a hit on. So Irv got when that trial came up in 2003, that trial lasted about 2-3 years. You know,
and
Irv and them basically
how much funds out their account.
Exactly.
All those
fees. They were kicked out of the building that they were in. They got kicked out of the building. Basically, they were, you know, by the grace of God, you know, they got out of it. But they were pretty much drained. Like, you know, you said, Sandman, financially, I mean, imagine fighting a high-profile case for 3 years. If you saw, you know, what was that joint? The Firm with Tom Cruise, you know, where you just saw about how much those lawyers cost per hour, you can get an idea. Man, I mean, they basically went through all of their money to get themselves out of that. And you're right, Murder Inc.
And they won.
The same after that. They won, you know, but they won.
But they lost a lot.
And they never been able to get back.
Exactly. What brand will want to go through that? And you know the other thing, Sue, I'm glad you brought up the whole Murder Inc. scenario, because they probably got, like, I can't say they would have got that money back, but they could have been on a good foot afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like when it comes to like Lloyd, or because remember around that time Lloyd was still popping. Around that time, you know what I mean? And Lloyd wanted to work. He always wanted to work, and that's not only him. Like, I think Ashanti around that time, she was still with them. I thought she was on her way out.
Ashanti was trying to get out during that time.
Yeah.
By then, 50 had already killed Ja Rule. Yeah, 50 had already killed Ja Rule's career, and Ja Rule was the cash cow. Then you had Ronnie Bumps, S.O. Cannon, Cadillac Ta, you know, all of them who were supposed to drop albums, but they never did, you know, presumably because of the label
Now,
issues.
check it out. Check this out.
Right.
They told, from what I heard, they told Ja not to respond to 50 while they were still going through the case. Do you think that was a smart decision for them to do? Do you think, like, Ja should have, you know, tried to defend her? Because remember, around that whole time when they was going through the case, 50, you know, he was on the rise. Came out with Wayne,
so what happened?
Came out with Get Rich or Die Trying. What if Ja Rule would have came out with Blood in My Eye around the same time 50 came out with Get Rich or Die Trying?
50 was already on that wave.
Honestly, bro, this is one of those things in life.
Because Blood in My Eye was actually a decent album.
It really was. But I look at it like this, bro. This is one of them things in life where you could do everything right and it just don't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, they tried ignoring 50. It didn't work. They tried responding to him. It didn't work.
No. See, that's the thing. Wait, hold on, wait.
It didn't work.
No. It was around that time. It was already too late. Remember, it was already too late. You know what I mean? Like, I was talking about the whole shit with the stabbing, the alleged stabbing, and whatever.
That happened. That happened.
That happened before 50 was on the rise.
That happened in 2000. Now
yeah,
that
happened before. That happened before Get Rich or Die Trying and Wankster.
Now, for the stabbing incident that Sandman is talking about, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, call number is 1-6199-240-703 off the cuff radio, sponsored by Da Vinci. What he's talking about is a situation. Now, all this stemmed from a situation that happened in 1999 where Ja Rule got robbed by a friend of 50's who stole, and 50 had nothing to do with this, but a guy 50 knew stole Ja Rule's chain. And they happened to be in Atlanta. Ja saw 50 talking to the guy that snatched his chain, and Ja automatically had beef with 50. 50's like, why the fuck you got beef with me? The nigga that robbed you is right next to me. Why ain't you beefing with him? So that started a whole bunch of funk between them. And then there was the Hit Factory stabbing in New York back in 2000 where there was a fight in the studio. And, you know, there was
I heard niggas cut the lights off.
Yeah.
Black Child said it himself. Like, niggas cut the lights off, so I started poking everybody. And I'm not saying they're incriminating him. And you can't blame him. Like, niggas turn the lights off. We're like, oh, hell no. Nah. I'm pulling out my weapon, too.
And you know, 50, leave it up to 50 to make a cut, to be a comedian about it. He was like, I only got a little 5-inch, a little 5-stitch scar. He's like, y'all need to leave the fucking lights on then. He's like, because niggas go in the tunnel and get slashed and walk it out. He's like, niggas walk up in the tunnel, get slashed, and are coming out with a. He's like, y'all need to let the lights on.
Now, my question is this. Now, you know, everybody know that Guess Who's Back mixtape. Now, with that Ja Rule's chain
Ghetto
on
Quran.
50's
You talking
cover,
about Ghetto Quran?
That's what I want to know.
That was not Ja Rule's chain. That was not Ja Rule's chain. That was the chain 50 had. No, that was not Ja Rule's chain. That was not his.
Okay,
if it's the chain that I. Oh, go ahead, King. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to clarify that, but there was nothing they could do because once you align himself with Dr. Dre, the biggest producer in the game, and you align yourself with Eminem, the biggest white rapper in the game, you get that white fan base. They couldn't compete.
And you can't even really say put white in front of it. Eminem was one of the biggest rappers in the game, period. So you had two major influences at the time who were going, and then you had, of course, you know what I'm saying, you know, Jimmy Iovine, who was the head of Interscope, you know. So, I mean, you got basically three of the top tiers in the game from producing, rapper, and CEO backing you. You know what I mean? At 50, and what else? 50 had good music. You know, he had great music.
It was the Golden State Warriors of the rap game.
You know what
exactly.
You know what it is also, like, because remember, before then, Murder Inc. was running shit for like, what, 4 years? So it's all about timing. You know? 50 was something fresh, so he was something new, and we remembered his verse. We remembered a couple of verses from him. Like, remember the first verse he had did with Onyx, with the club
on
track.
React. That was React back in 1998.
On React. Yeah, he killed that shit. And, you know, even before then, when he did How to Rob, you know, like, so his verse, he was
and then You Ain't No Gangster. Then he had that song, You Ain't No Gangster.
Yeah, he doing all this shit when he's not even signed. So, and it's like everything 50 came out with, he was killing. He had a nice track record on his resume, and that's always a good thing to start off your career. And, you know, he just happened, I say he lucked up when M was like, you know what, I'm going to put him underneath my wing. Once M put 50 underneath his wing, that was it. The rest is history.
And then you figure, man, and what happened to Ja Rule 2 years later from 2006 to 2008? What happened 2 years later in 2008? He gets arrested for that gun charge and does 3 years.
Your body, make me say, yeah. That's what happened to him.
Yeah. And then he got that 3 years for that gun charge. So that pretty much iced his. But he did come out and drop The Mirror, which was well received. I believe that came out in 2012, I believe. And then, of course, he did Pain Is Love, too.
I remember when people was telling me that album, The Mirror, like, when you get the collector's edition or the special edition, the album is basically a mirror. Like, you look at the album cover and it shows yourself. Like, it's a reflection of yourself. I don't know if it's true.
Right.
But if that's how The Mirror came out, that's actually unique, you know. And I don't know, like, I'm gonna have to look that up because that's what I heard. Like, if you get like the special edition or the collector's edition, whatever, it's basically like you holding a mirror and you looking at yourself. That's the album cover.
But he did Paint His Love too behind that. But pretty much after that time, you know, Murder Inc. had pretty much dissipated. You know, Ashanti had been trying to get out there she officially got off the label, I believe, in around 2011, 2013, she officially left.
She got her own shit.
But
Charles Walker and Ashanti, you know, she got her own shit. Written up his name. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So going back to the Tekashi situation, what do you think is gonna be the outcome of this? You think this guy is gonna squeal? You think Shotty gonna squeal? You think we're gonna find a informant? Because this thing is playing out like a movie.
Somebody's gonna snitch. Somebody's gonna say something. Because at the end of the day, you know, I mean, these motherfuckers are used to a certain lifestyle, and that's just gonna make them salivate even more. You know what I mean? And they taking all that shit from them, and you know that's what the feds do. They're gonna make sure you suffocate to see how really gangster. They want to see how you want to be a gangster. They're gonna show how gangster you can get. That's what they want to do. It's the squeeze. It's the squeeze. Like, I don't know about 6ix9ine, like his origins. I heard he was in jail from before, but I know it couldn't be from this magnitude.
Well, he actually was on probation. He was on probation for another case where he had a minor in a sex video. Now, he was not he did not do anything with a minor, but he filmed it with, like, the girl was, I think, like 13 or 16, and like some other older niggas was fucking her.
He didn't have.
And he was on probation for that. He was on probation for that already.
But around that time, he was like 18, and Shorty was like
18 at the time.
And Shorty was like 16, 15.
I think so. She was like 16. But
yeah,
yeah,
like 16.
So the thing,
like, when it comes to shit like that, I ain't a lot. Like, can you really be mad at him? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not condoning, pedophilia or anything like that, but He's 18, she's 16. Can you really blame him for that?
Well, that's the law. I mean, it's the letter of the law. It doesn't matter in terms of opinion. It's the law. And the fact is, he broke the law, and he was still on probation for that. So this is a situation that he already has some stuff going against him. Now, the seriousness, because people are cracking jokes about this, but this is the serious element of it. He's looking at the least of the charges, from what I understand, at 10 years. That's the minimum. He's looking at life altogether if he's convicted of everything. They got the window of life to shut on him. And the reality of it is that, you know, everybody talks about how tough they are, about how stand-up they are, but when you're looking at the fact that he's 23 years old and potentially he could be looking at the rest of his natural life behind bars, depending where this investigation goes. Exactly. And see, the thing is if they press him enough, you know, the choir is going to start coming out. The birds are going to start singing, and it ain't going to be springtime. Well, it might be springtime when he starts singing like a bird. I mean,
exactly.
It's like I said, it's sad.
From last week, these niggas was on a yacht in Costa Rica partying up, got thoughts all over the place, counting money and bragging and eating lobster. Now all of a sudden you in some one by two sale.
Eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Macaroni.
Look, what did my man Jay-Z say? Say it with me. It was all good just a week ago.
Exactly. That's how it is. That's how it is, yo. Like, it can be good all week. But, like, let's sum this up, because I do want to get to the bitch-ass nigga segment.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get to that, too, we also got to say this. Now, in terms of what I read today, they said the CI. Now, I've heard rumors that it was a CI in the crew. I've heard rumors that it was, and I'm not saying this is official, but I heard that there was one of his security guys, because there's supposedly a situation where this also involved, there was a plot on Chief Keef's cousin, and supposedly, I don't know how true this is, they said they have phone taps of Tekashi basically saying he wants Chief Keef's cousin whacked, and supposedly his security was the one that bugged the phone, because his security already had papers on him from the feds. He was already I don't know how true that is. That's just what I heard. I don't know how true it is. You're going too far off.
We gotta answer King's question. Do you think 6ix9ine is gonna squeal, or don't you think he's gonna squeal? Like, it gotta be.
Somebody's gonna talk, because they're all looking at serious time behind this. This is a federal racketeering case. This is not small potatoes. This is French fries and hot grease coming out the fryer, and they still piping hot. They still steaming. Somebody's gonna get burned on this.
The block about to get hot, yo.
I would say this. This is what I would say. You know, like, and I don't condone it, but in this situation is the best thing he can do. But this is what he has to do afterwards.
Right.
I think 6ix9ine should just be like, you know what? It is what it is. Snitch. You got to. Because you got to think of your family. But here's the thing. Afterwards, all that rapping shit about being a gangster, all that other shit,
you gotta stop.
It's
done.
It's done.
Go live a regular life.
Invest in something that you could keep a nice account for you and your family can live comfortably, and that's it. Because you put this shit on your fucking self. You know what I mean? Or you can play the gangster role. Don't snitch. And you know what I mean? Like, and you could just be in jail for like up to 30 years. Because they would do that shit. They look at you like, motherfucker, you're not the one that we really want. But we could definitely give you the time because you're the mascot.
Exactly. He's going to be the poster child for it, because they already he's a parent. One thing if there's a certified gangster element in it, he was connected with some major people if they swept him up in that investigation. So if he got swept up in it, that means that this scope and scale of this is serious. Anytime the feds are on a case, it's serious. So this, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know how many people are going to get caught up in it because he's not the only one. This could be a sealed indictment until they unseal it, and then they name all the people who were involved in it. He's just the most high profile, like Sandman said, But when this comes out, this is going to come out on a lot of people, and a lot of people could go down behind this.
I think this dude Shotty, aka Treyway, whatever the fuck you want to call himself, he basically put the whammy on this whole project from saying that he wanted Treyway to be the new death row. That was the beginning of the end before it even began. And they didn't even have that type of. I mean, they ain't even last
a damn year. At least Death Row had a 4-year run.
look, these motherfuckers had a 4-month run.
A summer run.
Look. Tekashi fired all of them and was like, "Key, what'd you say? It was a rap." They won't. All that stuff is gone for them.
Oh, it's a rap. Ain't no Christmas dinners.
Ain't none of that. It's go.
Oh yeah, the Dots done left them niggas. It's a wrap. They done went to the next one.
So this is over for everybody. And the fact is, they're all looking at real prison time. Like, this ain't no play. I mean, they're going, and when you go in feds, there's no probation in feds. You do
nobody
what they give you.
Yeah, nobody want beef with the feds. Nobody. They don't play that shit. They make sure they hang you.
Big Meech, shout out to Big Meech. Big Meech, play it out, and he got 30 years.
And the cool part is, guys, really... I'm just looking at this just now. I looked at Akademiks' page, and it said that Dummy Boy is #1 on the billboards.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Okay, so they did release it commercially.
That's what I told you. It got released last Friday.
Okay, so because I heard they were going to postpone the release.
Yeah, and here's the cold part about it.
Okay.
It's business as usual, because if we want to play fair semantics, all these people made all this money off the 6ix9ine brand, so everybody's account should have been either held up or froze or
everybody got their hand in the cookie jar. Everybody got their hand in the cookie jar. Everybody. He ain't gonna make a dime off of that. I hate to laugh, but it's true. Like, everybody got their hand in that shit. He might make
where that money's going.
A few thousand.
You know where that money's gonna go. You
right
know where that
to
money's
the king.
Gonna go.
Lawyers.
Exactly.
And they're gonna find another mumble rap dummy to take his place.
I was shocked because I read that initially they were going to shelve the album, but I guess they felt like, hey, let's capitalize off the controversy right now. Let's go ahead and put it out.
That's what made people believe at first that it was a publicity stunt because, ironically enough, the album was coming out the week he gets indicted. So now, we seeing how real it is, and they figure, hey, we're gonna still profit off it. He ain't getting out anytime. We gonna give his family a dime. That's the cold world about it.
Yeah. Anyway,
it just goes to show you, man. You play those roles.
I don't mean to cut you off, but because we run short of time.